Hello, welcome to my YouTube. This short film is just to let you know all about everything that's going on at RAF Harrowbeer at Yelverton on the 14th and 15th of August 2021. And this Merlin, Rolls Royce Merlin engine will be on a static display and running both on the Saturday and the Sunday. It's been restored by Paul Lawrence. Do come along and have a look, you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it doesn't really get any better than really the Rolls Royce Merlin. That is the ultimate of engines. Even the dogs are excited. It was used 4 of them in the Lancaster bomber, 1 in the Spitfire, 1 in the Hurricane, 1 in the American Mustang. Things needed to fly faster, things needed to fly higher. And what allowed them to go faster and higher was the engine. It was the engine of old. And that engine there allowed the Spitfire to do 350 miles an hour. That's slicking on. This is in the early 40s, 1940s. Hey, 350 miles an hour.
Hello there. Well, we're continuing on this YouTube film. And it's really to take a look at the site of the former RAF Harrowbeer, which was located high up on the moors near Yelverton in Devon. And the airfield was there for the duration of the war and shortly afterwards, and located in this amazing position, which it actually wasn't that far from Plymouth City. Unfortunately, it was a bit too late to defend the city against the German attacks, but it did very much go on the offensive, and you can see the runway layout here. There were 3 active runways, and it was an extremely active airfield during the Second World War, flying Typhoons, Whirlwinds, and many other aircraft, including the Spitfires and so on. And I really hope you can sit back, have a look at the layout of the wartime airfield, have a look at some of the photos and images here, how it looks now. And this is really just to show you a taster for the RAF Harubia 1940s weekend. They're celebrating their 80th anniversary of the airfield opening, and that'll be on the 14th and 15th of August 2021. So do come along, there's no charge. It'll be a fabulous day out.
My name is Stephen Fryer. I am the lead for the RAF Harrowbeer Interest Group, who have been looking into the history of RAF Harrowbeer here at Yelverton in Devon. Now behind me you can see the original control tower for the airfield, and that was constructed, the White Tower was constructed and added to an original building which was known as Victoria Lodge. And that was put there by the RAF when they took over the airfield, and it's the original control tower or watch office. Later on in 1942, a new one was built on the other side of the airfield, and that building became the headquarters for number 276 Squadron Air Sea Rescue. And Air Sea Rescue was a major role of this airfield. The next building behind me is Ravenscroft, and that is now a nursing home, but was originally a house built by the Piper family. And that was built by the elder brother. It's a copy of the house next door, Merivale, which we can't really see because unfortunately it's in the trees. But the elder brother built this house, and he had embellishments which made it better than his original house, his brother's house apparently. Now coming further around, To my left now is one of the original dispersal bays. There are 12 of these dispersal bays on the airfield, and they are built to protect aircraft when they're not being used. Any aircraft that was on the airfield was always left fully armed and fully fueled and ready to go. No point in having a scramble and saying, oh, by the way, I need a top up on the fuel tanks, skip. So any aircraft that landed was immediately refueled and rearmed, ready to go. Now, they are constructed in this way. There were two sizes of dispersal bay, either fighter or fighter bomber, and RAF Harrowbeer had fighter bomber size because it was assumed at some stage we would go from defence to attack, which is obviously exactly what happened. And so we had Typhoon aircraft here, Westland Whirlwinds, Spitfires of various marks, all operated from RAF Harrowbeer. The concrete which you see in the centre of the pen here, that was added in 1942 when they discovered that fuel leaking from aircraft destroyed the tarmac, which wasn't very useful, obviously. And so this concrete was put down to alleviate that problem. Set into the concrete, you will also find, and also in the tarmac on the side, these iron bars. And these were used to tie aircraft down because, as anybody knows who lives in the local area, it gets incredibly windy here, and it would be very easy to tip an aircraft over in a strong wind. So there were a number of these tie-down points, and all the dispersal bays here have exactly the same tie-down points. Now, one of the things we always hear about is that RAF Harrowbeer was built on the rubble from Plymouth. Now, that is not true. The runways were certainly down and mostly constructed by January 1941. And this is because work started on the airfield in October, about September, October 1940. And work proceeded rapidly with levelling the ground and setting in the runways. Runway number 3, the little short one, which runs from Yelverton to my right, that was the first one to be constructed. Then they constructed runway number 1, which goes from Yelverton to Crapstone. And then they constructed runway number 2. Now, having said that about the rubble of Plymouth, there is the rubble of Plymouth under the end of runway number 2, as we found out when the gas pipe was laid in 2009, and we were able to look into the trenches as they were being dug, which was a revelation. It was our time team moment. There are various other places all around the airfield where we know there is the rubble of Plymouth, and certainly if you dig a hole on the periphery, you will find red brick and all sorts of stuff buried in the holes. But Harrowbeer itself didn't open officially until August 1941, 15th of August 1941 to be precise. So for those of you who are good on maths will realise that now in 2021, this is our 80th anniversary of opening, and we're hoping to celebrate that in August. But as I've just said, August 1941 was when we opened, so we weren't operational before then. The Blitz of Plymouth was March, April 1941, so we were too late to defend Plymouth. Although ostensibly that was one of the reasons for constructing the airfield in the first place. But from that point onwards, we did defend the south coast along with Bolt Head and Exeter.
Well, please do come along to RAF Harrowbeer on the 14th and 15th of August 2021 at Yelverton. It'll be signposted. This Merlin engine will be running on both days, both Saturday and Sunday of that weekend. So come along and have a look. There's no charge for entry. It'll be a fabulous weekend. See you there. Cheers for now.